Lot 10.
They called it Crash 4 in Japan, right? Or am I
Uh,
confusing something else?
one
That
of these
Wrath of
games
Cortex
has
was Crash 4.
one of these games has Crash 5 on it. One of these PS2 games.
What was that? What was the one after Wrath of Cortex?
They don't have a close up of it, but I can. It's definitely a 5.
What game is that?
I don't know.
Are you getting just printouts of the box art for each one? That's the lot you're getting?
I'm not getting it. I'm just. I somehow came across it. And yeah, there's Crash 4 and then something that's Crash 5. I don't know. It's all pixelated though. That box art's all pixelated and that almost looks like.
Are they showing you the? Are you seeing the actual games or is it just that weird screenshot looking thing?
Yeah, that's the damn. It's all pixelated, but that's definitely the Vivendi Universal.
Mm-hmm. Here they go.
Right there in the corner.
All right. So that's how usually does our live research.
That's definitely the Vivendi.
Crash Bandicoot 5. Introducing Copilot in Edge. What do they consider Crash Bandicoot 5? Everything we know right now. I mean, it's all like asking about what the follow-up to that last one was, the one you played. Crash and the Ambition of Cortex. Was that PS2 only?
Yeah.
Crash 5, Crash and the Ambition of Cortex.
It's not even listed on their.
Is it one we never got? Why would we not get a Crash Bandicoot game?
Is it something that never came out here? Because on there, it's Wikipedia. So, who knows? But it just has Wrath of Cortex.
Cesar, you ever heard of this one? The Mysterious Ambition of the Cortexes.
Oh, it's listed by year. Never mind, that's 2001.
Why are we having to figure this out now?
Huge Adventure. So they did the GBA. They did that GBA title. 2003. Crash. That's another Game Boy Advance title. Which I enjoyed the Game Boy, the stuff I played on the Game Boy Advance.
I see Mark Hamill voiced in one of them.
Says Richard. It says on there. It's
there he is.
Originally known as Crash Twinsanity.
Twinsanity. It would be one of those, right? I did not see that anywhere. Do 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 do. Renee is here.
Apparently there's a Japanese Crash Bandicoot Wikipedia page.
That's how you had to find it. That's what was needed.
I see Crash of the Titans.
1, 2.
So yeah, that's when I guess Vivendi did all of the
2, 3, 4, 5.
Crash Boom Bang, Crash Bandicoot party game.
It's on the adult sites.
Crash Racing.
So sorry, you have
Crash
Game Pass
of the
updates. Let's go. Oh, let's get through this. You guys ready?
Yep.
Renee's here. We got 4 people. We already lost somebody on YouTube. We suck that bad.
No, they saw Renee was here and they left.
Yeah, not this guy. There can only be one person watching on YouTube.
They're like, no, Hillary can get the hell out of here. And they just dropped off.
Oh, man. Renee, we're glad you're here. That one person's not, but we are. We appreciate you. Oh, man. Brent, you ready?
Yeah, I'm surprised that I guess I can do it on Games Acquired. Never mind. I'll talk about it.
You're going to do a bit on Games Acquired?
Mm-hmm.
My games played is Warzone Tales. Maybe I can't even really distinctly remember our 2 wins because there's been so much shit in between now and then. My mind is gone this week. I'll be news extraordinaire, but that's about it for me. But our loyal fans, all 6 of you, you'll get my best still. I just didn't play a whole shit ton. All right, y'all ready?
Yep.
Brent, you got the right episode number in there?
Nope.
277, is that accurate?
Who knows? Not me.
We'll find out.
Next time.
It's one way to find out. Who would have thought?
Press X to doubt.
Always doubt, Brant. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 277 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game and Japanese exclusive Crash Bandicoot title podcast. Buy it and stream it, Brant. Do it. Buy the thing. Pop it in your modded PS2 with your flip disc, your swap trick. Tonight's news. That's not Brant illegally downloading import titles. Actually, we discovered it's not an import title.
Yeah, it's not an import.
Yeah. Do you have that one? Or is it a pending games acquired? Crash Twinsanity.
Oh, no, my the first 3 games and then the original Crash Team Racing was where my collecting stopped.
Ceased.
I think
Crash titles.
I did get Wrath of Cortex and thought it was okay.
Well, it's not
but
bad.
I could tell
the loading times are horrible.
Oh yeah. I could just tell as a kid though. I'm like, it feels similar, but it's not the same. And so after that was the last Crash game I bought.
Did that break you?
It broke me. No more Crash after that.
You couldn't take
it. It was only classic Crash for me.
Oh boy. You can only take the subtitles that don't include Cortex, or that do include. No, that could not include Cortex. What was 2 subtitle? One of them was Wrath of Cortex. That was 4.
Why is this happening?
Oh
yeah, that was.
We need
the
Crash Bandicoot lore. Save me, Cesar. Let me finish the intro. Save me.
You do it to yourself.
No,
man.
save me.
This was Wrath of Cortex, which was a Konami title.
Konami published it. Cerny was supposed to work on those, but I think he bailed on that studio after that too.
And then we saw Universal Vivendi got the title.
Yeah.
Or I guess just started publishing them.
Oh god, sorry for the deep dive in Crash lore. I did say we were the Southeast premier Crash Bandicoot podcast. Tonight's news: PlayStation Visual Arts layoffs? ? What is that? No more exclusive skins or timed content for COD. If you have a COD, you're no longer getting exclusive skins or timed content. How to win a PC with blood? That should have been the question mark. How do we win a PC with blood? I paid for mine. Cesar did the same, and didn't have to donate
I
it.
paid it off.
You're done.
It took me 6 months.
You didn't give it to some random kid as you kept paying for it.
I mean, by now it's I think I could run like a Starfield in like medium settings before it could run games on ultra high. So we're already here.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
PC World moves fast, man.
Too fast. By the time you pay it off, it's time to get another one.
It's time for me to put $2,000 in a video card. I ain't doing it
though. Next up in news, we hope your copy of Spider-Man 2 works. I guess we'll check with both you guys and see whether y'all's works or not. And we have your mid-October Cesar Game Pass games. He's going to go through your mid-October update. He'll make it brief or as painful as possible. Who knows?
Depends on how I feel at the time.
Yes, by the time we get to that point in the news. I'm one of your hosts, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Newsmaster Brant McKee.
What's up? Painstakingly picking out the news.
Every week, week in and week out.
Brant,
he hasn't been banished yet. We haven't promoted him to listener. Thank you, Brant, for your service.
Looking forward to the promotion at some
Oh
point.
God, you want to go back to the
breaks in.
listener? I'm out of here, man. You could have just let us know. We didn't have to find out this way with everybody else here with us.
Damn.
Oh
I
man,
just heard promotion. I'm ready.
that was it. He's like, sign me up. Also here, our resident page master, lore master, and Game Pass updater. That would be Cesar Concepcion II. Welcome, sir.
Hello.
Are you ready to review those Game Pass changes?
Let's do
You ready
that.
to put some game in your pass? Let's do that. That's what's up. Let's do that. We're not going to
Gotta
start
get
with
past
that.
those games.
Let me pass them. I'm about to pass something. Let me at least pass some games here in a minute.
Oh.
First up from VideoGamesChronicle.com and Jordan Midler, PlayStation's Visual Arts appears to have suffered layoffs. Visual Arts has supported some of PlayStation's biggest franchises. Among them, former senior level designer Daniel Bellamere wrote, "Unfortunately, following a wave of layoffs, last week was my last week at PlayStation. While this is certainly not the news I was hoping for, I'm grateful to have had a chance to work amongst extremely talented colleagues on incredible projects, and I'm leaving with good memories of my time there." It goes on to say he was based in San Diego. Visual Art Service Group was founded in 2007 with the goal of growing some of PlayStation's biggest franchises. Visual Arts Service Group was recently brought to prominence for its work on The Last of Us Part 1. I've never heard of this group. Is this like a... Have y'all?
Secret group.
I mean, it's not like Japan Studio or Studio Liverpool or one of these, that was known, that was out there.
I think
it just sounds like a support studio.
Just quietly plugging away in the background sort of thing.
I
Yeah.
remember I forgot where they came from. They seem familiar.
So maybe they scooped them up and turned them into that sort of support studio? Like
Possibly.
a Beanox for Activision?
I think according to that article listed on there, if I remember correctly, I think they just assisted with the Last of Us Part 1 remake.
Yes.
Was the last big thing they worked on.
That's the last one they worked on.
Yeah.
And it looks like it was contract work, at least for this rigging artist, it says. Zen Studios has become the latest studio owned by Embracer Group to be hit with layoffs. Embracer, blah, blah. This story turned into a Bracer thing again.
I mean, they're the king of layoffs right
They
now.
are. Bought up all these studios, now getting rid of people. It sucks. Yeah, it ends up recapping Embracer closures, but there's nothing. I mean, people are affected, but there's nothing major out of that news. They go on to recap the Volition closure of the famed Saints Row developer. That sucked. What's next? Our hearts go out to everybody from Visual Arts. And hopefully they land on their feet. The industry seems to be good, like amongst Twitter and LinkedIn probably, that, hey, I'm available now. And when you're in game development, I'm sure your name is out there, especially working on PlayStation Studios. What's next? What did Phil Spencer say and what's on his shelf? Is this another shelf interview?
No. This is, again, from VGC, Andy Robinson posting this article here about Phil Spencer talking about 100% parity within the Call of Duty ecosystem.
Call of Duty verse.
Basically, now that that Microsoft has acquired Activision, they're talking about this, timed exclusive,
That was the fear, right?
console exclusive content, right. DLC.
Right.
PlayStation constantly has those, play it first, play this expansion first on PlayStation, and stuff like that. He's basically it says the goal is 100% parity across platforms, as much as we can for launch content.
As much as we can until somebody shows up with a big stack of cash.
Fat stack of cash, baby.
Fat stacks. Daddy fat stacks. Is this all he was talking about? Where did this Phil Spencer interview come from?
It was from some Xbox podcast. It says the Xbox, official Xbox podcast.
Oh, the one that Major Nelson is not on anymore.
We have no goal of somehow trying to use Call of Duty to get you to buy a Xbox console. I want the Call of Duty Nation to feel supported across all platforms.
Are we part of the Call of Duty Nation now?
I guess
we just play
so.
Warzone though, right? We're not really.
Yeah, we're not those people.
We still spend some money. We all spend some money on there.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to talk Russell into getting that stuff he wants to get.
I bought my Helsing character.
Who is he looking?
Put anime characters on our bio.
Who is he looking at? Your Helsing looks good. Was he looking at He-Man or one of the? I think Brant was looking at the He-Man character.
I saw it on the side there. It popped up, and I was just He-Man.
Did you get enough Call of Duty coins
Freaking
to pay for the
Skeletor.
battle pass? It's like $10 free with the.
Skeletor's like $30, man. I was like, I like He-Man like the next person because I grew up in the '80s, but $30.
What was Russell looking at? Russell was scoping somebody.
I did. That Doom pack seemed pretty sick. Somebody killed me with that shotgun, and it had the old school animation where
I don't believe
pretty
you.
damn.
No one kills anyone with a shotgun, Brant. Bleach said Duty Nation. Are we actually Call of Duty players?
Duty Nation. We're the Duty Nation.
DOOTY Nation.
Again, he talks about things like the Modern Warfare 3 beta wasn't on Xbox the first week. I don't.
He's like, we're gonna fix that shit.
I don't think that helps the community, and I don't think that helps the game. Is a quote from him. He also says, so the focus is if you're a PlayStation player or a Nintendo player in the future, a PC player or Xbox console player, I want you to feel 100% part of the Call of Duty Nation.
Give me Warzone on my Steam Deck. Stop separating that shit.
Yeah.
Brant's like, there's a way. Brant's always trying to figure out a way to get it to play.
They just put Overwatch on there, on Steam. So I mean, one could hope.
Diablo 4.
Next...
Diablo 4 is officially it's out on. Is it Steam Deck verified? I know it's out on Steam.
It is Steam Deck verified. It is.
Well, PS5 copy's coming in. I'm not doing it. They sold me on the haptic feedback.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be at some point. We hope affordable on Steam Deck on a crazy sale. I'll buy it. I'll double dip.
I will too. Lord knows I did for Diablo 3. I think I have that, the Evil Collection, the Ultimate Evil Collection, whatever they call that thing, on every platform it's on. So I will.
Richard's doing his part to worship the devil
on every platform I can. I don't put my devilish affiliation on just one platform. I need everybody to know that my heart bleeds for Satan. Oh man, I see Cesar's dead. Xbox Game Pass, the Twitter account put out it was very clearly Dead Space. Like, I think it was actually Cesar's t-shirt, like, in the background. And it's like, this game's coming soon to Game Pass. And it was like, blank, 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 S, blank, 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 blank. And it was something Satan. And I said, need Satan, maybe? I said back on Twitter. It's like, what game is this? Need Satan. I'm the bad person on Wheel of Fortune that guesses the wrong thing. I'd like to solve the puzzle, and
oh my gosh.
Yeah, then they have to tell them like, nope, I'm sorry, that's not it. And then the next person who was sure that the person to their right was gonna finish the puzzle, they're like, yes, you idiot, I got this thing now.
Yeah,
they always have that look in their face.
They never let you finish it. They already spinning the wheel.
Yeah,
so you get the answer wrong.
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Yeah, this guy got it wrong. Just gonna spin the wheel immediately.
Oh god, good times. All right, I think this is a good thing. I don't think it does. Do you know anyone that has any console parity for? That's not the right term. I guess it comes down to controller choice at that point, right? I like this controller for Call of Duty. I like this controller for Call of Duty. It's really, I mean, it's not even where your friends are anymore. That's how it used to be. I need to get both versions because I got 3 people on Xbox and 2 people on PlayStation, or I'm currently paying for Live, so I'm going to get it for that since I pay for that online subscription, but you don't need any of those things anymore, and it works with everybody. It's kind of crazy how far we've come. But I think this is a good step. I mean, they will do something with Call of Duty. It's got to... you don't get the biggest franchise on Earth and not spend some sort of premium ability out of it.
And the
all
first
those little skins and all that stuff you get from Game Pass for free or something.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
the first thing that's going to be is like, well, we have 100% parity, but if you're a Game Pass Ultimate member, you get this thing, you get, this much XP, or you get this skin, or...
Actually, we just said we were going to try our best. It didn't go so well. Like, I tried to convince that team, and they were so ready to put something out on Xbox. They decided to do that first, so... We tried. That was our effort. We tried to make it happen.
I mean, Microsoft owns Activision. They can do whatever they want with it. So
they can, and they will. It's interesting to see that Spider-Man sold a shit ton of copies. We all know Super Mario Wonder sold a shit ton of copies. We still have Call of Duty in a week, 2 weeks,
a couple weeks,
which is going to be gangbusters, of course. Sales records and all that. So, we're ending the year on a bang. Speaking of banging, Blizzard is giving away, this comes from VideoGamesChronicle.com and Chris Scullion. Blizzard is giving away a Diablo-themed PC that's liquid-cooled with real human blood. I think I'm done with this story at this point.
Keep reading. There's a good... It's a good
Holy
cause.
God, okay. This is going to pivot, Brant. I'm scared of this one.
So, yeah, we were talking about Diablo 4, so here's your chance to win a Diablo 4 themed PC.
Full of blood, it's gross.
Blizzard is calling this campaign Blood Harvest, encouraging U.S. citizens to donate blood at a clinic of their choice. They will have to submit proof of their donation, which will then be added to the running total once it gets to 666 quarts. Or 1,332 pints of blood have been donated in total. The sweepstakes will be open. At that point, any U.S. players, whether you've donated or not, will be able to enter the competition via Instagram, Twitter. Details on how to enter the contest will actually follow once the target number of blood has been donated.
The devil's blood.
The grand prize will be the custom liquid cooled PC infused with real human blood, according to Blizzard. PC will include NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090, Intel Core i9, 13,900K.
So the 13th Gen i9.
Yep. 64 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM.
Oh, shit.
And 3 terabyte Gen 5 NVMe M.2 SSD.
Oof.
And will come with custom Diablo red and black color palette.
Can I just drain the blood out of it and keep all the other stuff?
I mean, I guess you can always just change out the coolant.
How do you do that? How do you explain that? What's coming out of that one? Why are you getting rid of that? Listen, you don't want to know. Listener Boosh says, can he use the blood for future transfusions? I don't know what that suggested.
Put the blood in my body.
Oh, God. I don't like blood stuff, man.
You take the PC with you to the hospital or to the bloodmobile, yes. And you're like, we're both here to give blood.
It's not cooling anymore. I'm giving platelets, and this thing is giving some RAM. What do you have to do? So you have to donate blood. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It says, although the PC can only be won by U.S. residents, the campaign will also unlock in-game items, which will seemingly be available to all players worldwide.
Oh, that's very cool. And at the time of the writing of the article, the campaign had already reached 27% progress, which is awesome. 360 pints, that's not much.
No.
That's just a good turnout over a weekend or so at a blood bank, I would imagine. Because you take a pint at a time, right? We got any blood donors on the chat here?
It's a gimmicky thing, but hey, yeah, it's definitely a good cause to get people to go donate some blood.
I feel like it's more than a pint. I happen to know the exact amount of liquid a pint is. Not sure. It's based off of blood measurements.
But how many gills is that?
How many gills is that? Oh. All right, we'll see if anybody answers that. Spider-Man. You guys played Spider-Man. Maybe somebody else touches on this one. Spider-Man Dose. I have this on original Xbox. It's the one with Alfred Molina doing the voiceover. And Doc Ock.
Yeah, I've got it on PlayStation 2. There's also one on the PlayStation 1.
The GameCube had one.
All right. Let's see. According to this article on VGC,
so I started taking this one so he didn't have to do the Game Pass.
Yeah. I don't care, man. I just wanted to get going.
Get the Spider-Man stuff in there.
Some players in Europe are claiming that they are unable to install their physical copy of Spider-Man 2. Game was released on Friday. It's held by developer Insomniac as entirely playable on the disc without the need for a lengthy download, although Insomniac did advise players who bought a physical copy of the game to download its launch day update. Now, it appears that several players are facing issues wherein their game won't install properly from the disc itself. And this is, I guess, according to a Reddit thread that's still active and is largely affecting players in Europe, mainly from Romania, the Netherlands, and Malta. There's currently no workaround for the issue, and PlayStation or Insomniac have yet to comment on the problem.
You think it's just the way they were pressed in that region?
Maybe.
That's a possibility. Because I saw something where you get to around 30% and it breaks for some reason, and then there were other
good in the world.
Yeah, and then there's other people that were able to download the full thing, start playing, and then it broke. Again, there was something. They'd get the message about something wrong with install, and it wouldn't. They couldn't actually play the dang game. So they were advised to. Because I saw a couple things about this. They were advised, just take it back to the stores, and a lot of people were already going back to the stores to exchange it, and they'd already taken the stock off the shelves.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess to try and alleviate this problem.
Time to go to Walmart, buy a copy, and then return the bad one. We all know what to do. We know the drill here. Take it to Walmart. Have y'all ever had this happen with a game? Did you have it? Did you have it happen with your respective Spider-Man?
No, this article says it's a mainly Europe thing, and I haven't really seen anybody here.
Have y'all
talk about
ever
it
had
or
this with a game before? I had the and I still see it pop up on every once in a while. I'll see it pop up on the PS3 subreddit. Somebody tries to install Uncharted 2. And if you remember Uncharted 2, it has the dagger thing that's like the main artifact he's trying to find in that game.
Yep.
It just sits there and spins on that menu, and you don't ever get anywhere. I can't remember what the fix for that was. I think it was a system file thing you had to go in and do. Miss Boosh says we do Tuesdays now. You never know. NOFODcast is all over the place.
I'm keeping you guessing.
Yeah, we never.
Boosh. Keeping you guessing.
I can't remember which game it was, but I know I've had some game, fail to install, or it would just come up with an error code in the middle, and I don't remember if that was there was a power outage in the middle of it, or just something weird went on, and most of the time it was always just delete it, start over, and it would go through. So, and
I would do that with when I was getting 360 discs after they added that ability to add it to the hard drive, where you just kind of popped the disc in, it checked, and then you played your downloaded copy. I would do that for GameFly discs, because those DVDs got sketchy around a certain era of GameFly pre-purchased or previously enjoyed discs.
Yeah.
So
what was it called? They used to make fun on cheap.
Yeah, they're always like, I want a side of chips. Give me a side of chips with those discs.
Yeah, chip discs. Yeah, get those chip discs. Yeah. It was because the size of those discs were always chipped for whatever reason, those PS3 ones. Yeah.
And they were cool about it. I got it was the Doom 3 BFG edition, I think it was. And it was the only offender I ever had from GameFly where it was just, it's like somebody took bites out of each end of the disc. It's like, damn, what happened here? They were like, we're sorry, you never should have got that sort of copy, and sent it back, and that was that. So, and now Doom 3's come out on 5 other platforms since then, 6 other platforms.
Including VR.
Including VR. Forgot that. Probably 8 platforms.
Let's say, as you say that, I reach for
You reach for your sealed copy of Doom 3 VR edition.
Doom V.
Has anybody tried that?
No.
Oh, yours is sealed.
yet.
I guess you have it, Brent.
Mine's sealed. But I also have
Doom VFR. I
Yep.
think those are essential for PlayStation VR because they're only on that platform, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the weird Wolfenstein one. Bush said he loves some Doom. Have you played both of the new ones? I haven't played Eternal, and I love the first one.
I've not played Eternal either.
Might have to loan Bush PlayStation VR so he can go through it. Yeah, Romania, Netherlands, and Malta. That's so strange. All right, that's all the Spider-Man news. Here's some Game Pass titles.
passing those games around.
Anybody want to take this?
I got it.
No, it's good.
I can do it.
I'm just fucking with Cesar.
Oh no, I didn't hear what you're saying. Sorry, I got a ill time.
I was joking about the Game Pass stuff. Here we go. I'll take the Game Pass one. I haven't done it in a while. Coming soon to Game Pass. Who in the chat is a Game Pass subscriber? We have 11 people currently in the chat watching the show. Show of hands and potential donations of Game Pass to individuals on the show who do not have Game Pass would be nice. He's Game Pass begging.
Hey.
They're Twitch affiliates now. He's Game Pass begging. Coming soon to Xbox Game Pass. Available today. This was as of October 17th, so a week ago. Like a Dragon Ishin. That is for cloud, console, and PC. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Moving on. Coming soon is F1 Manager 2023. I believe.
Yeah.
That's available.
Is Randy in the chat still? What's his official? Randy Rebels. Randy Rebels is in the chat. He had me order him a copy of F1 Manager 2022, I think. The Amazon had the PS4 copy for $10. And he's a noted racing fan. Loves Gran Turismo specifically. Always wanted to get an F1, but I don't need another sport to follow. That's October 19th. City Skylines 2 for PC is October 24th. That is the day of the recording, so the recording will go up tomorrow, so it'll be ready for you. October 26th is Dead Space. Cesar celebrating with his shirt. That is Cloud, PC, and Xbox Series X and S via EA Play. Will that come to PC via EA Play? And does that work on Steam Deck? How does that work? Or is it its own separate subscription? Or can I get an EA Play Pass?
I don't know.
Probably have to use. I was gonna say you might have to use that EA launcher thing.
Origin?
I'm not sure. I don't think Origin is around anymore.
What did they call it now?
EA Play.
It's just EA Play? It has its own launcher built into that?
I think they redid that launcher when they made that deal with Xbox to make it easier to download the PC games. Because I think when you download the PC games, you have to use the EA Play launcher.
Yeah, and then for Steam Deck, you get stuck in that authentication when the launcher starts. You get some weird loop. Yeah. Boo, figure that out. Let me play my games. Frog Detective. That's quite a pivot from Dead Space. Frog Detective, The Entire Mystery on October 26th. Minico's Night Market on October 26th. Both of those are cloud, console, and Minico's Night Market is PC. Headbangers Rhythm Royale, available on day one with Game Pass. That comes out Halloween. You know anything about this one, Cesar? Or you just like Headbangers Ball from MTV?
That's the one. That was just the.
Back in the
that
day.
works too. Yeah, this is the pigeon game called the rhythm game. They kept showing on Nintendo's.
Oh yeah, this was that weird ass
The pigeon game.
Oh, God.
Renee's begging for a Game Pass in the chat as well. He said he's not a Game Pass subscriber.
Pretty sure they finally did it after almost 12 months of begging. They were releasing Mario Party 3 on the 27th.
Oh, live news.
I know Twitter's gonna be super happy because every time I see it, every time I see Nintendo online,
there
they're
it
like,
is.
"Where's Mario Party 3?
Is that
You promised us months ago."
is that the Western one or is the Western one 2? Russell's favorite is the Western one. I believe that's 2.
Yeah, I think that's.
We
two.
talked about Mitsuda-san doing the soundtrack to the first one last week. That was mind-blowing to me. I need to just stream that soundtrack. Headbangers Rhythm Royale, the pigeon game, October 31st. Brant, when you get back from trick-or-treating, check your candy apples for razor blades and then fire up your copy of Headbangers Rhythm Royale. and live your pigeon dreams.
As you eat your razor blade candy.
I said check it first. Don't continue to eat it. Once you locate the razor blade, remove the razor blade and then continue.
There
eating
you go. Remove. He's like, oh, there's razor blade in here, and start eating it anyways.
Okay, Dad, why do you have a metal detector on my apple?
I add the razor blades to the candy and eat them. Is what you're saying? What's going on?
Oh no.
Yep.
Brant doesn't know. Brant didn't grow up in the era of the razor blades, the great razor blade scare.
It's a myth.
It was real. Myth. Give me your candy so I can screen it. And then Mom's like pulling off some Three Musketeers, like it's like a checker tax. There might be razor blades in here.
This one was already open. I'm sorry. We got to get rid of it.
Honestly, though, I think Brant's onto something. I never got like someone's homemade trick or treats. I always got packaged candy. Did y'all ever get? Did you ever get a random?
No.
Do you give out stuff?
Never got
like,
that.
Do you make treats?
No, and the other weird thing is we're watching a lot of 90s based cartoons right now, Halloween themed, and a lot of these cartoons have people giving out pennies. I was like, I don't ever remember somebody giving out pennies. I was like, when is this
like the way down the
regional base?
Where are these cartoons come from?
They were all 90s era Nickelodeon TV shows. And every single one of them, they were trick or treating. They're like, "Oh, this person was giving out pennies." I'm like, "What? Where did that? I don't ever remember that being a thing."
Oh
I'm dumping it out. I'm taking all my candy out right there. I'm putting it in my pockets. I'm dumping that penny right back out on the. We said he'd be super pissed to get pennies. That's stupid. What are they doing that for? Is it a prank? Is that the trick? Is it Doug? Did that happen in Doug? What show did they hand out pennies? Gargoyles?
The two right off the bat, Rocko's Modern Life and Real Monsters. Those are the ones that I know that I remember right now. That right off the bat, like back to back, we watch. What's with the pennies? I wouldn't be surprised
if it was like Ren and Stimpy or something. But those two shows, those shows were kind of crazy too. Stimpy. Yeah. Surprised if he got pennies in his trick or treat basket.
I literally just looked online and somebody's on here. Remember as a kid that one neighbor that offered a clear glass plate with brand new freshly minted pennies for all the trick or treaters.
What?
It's a thing.
Freshly minted.
Does anyone here keep the tradition alive? And then the second post was like, kids today will throw them back at you.
Freshly minted pennies. I would have thrown it back.
Yeah, you answer the door and you say trick or treat, and they try and give you a plate full of pennies and go, here you go. It's like, okay, so you have chosen trick.
Yes, they're choosing violence at that point. That shield will be dumped out right there on the stoop. I've never encountered that. Have y'all?
No.
No, it's an older thing. Another post on here is I often pass out shiny quarters, but they're usually from the 70s or 80s.
What? 70s, not 80s? So specific.
Yeah, you're getting that coin hurled right back at your head.
They slide into the bank with a 10. They're like, give me your finest 70s collection of quarters.
And this whole thread's like deep in it. We got cents in our Halloween bags when I was a kid in the late 50s, and we could still buy penny candy up at the
penny
store.
Candy. Okay, it checks out now. Okay. So that makes sense. It's like, go get what you want after this. Okay, that checks out. That's fine. It's still like, that's not what you're after, right? You would have gotten a penny and taken it up there anyways.
I don't know, with inflation, they better be handing out like $10 bills.
$10 bill candy.
Brand just hit 100 houses and get you one candy bar. $10 store.
Randy Rebel said, did you use a pillowcase or a bucket? How did this end up being the Halloween podcast? Why did we end up to the Halloween show?
I think you start off with a bucket, and then the older you get, you change.
I think that was my path.
To a pillowcase. I think
that was my path. And then a couple of years, I got the McDonald's ones that had like the themed McNuggets. If Miss Boosh is still on the show, I know she remembers and they brought those back out. Has anybody seen them this year?
I haven't seen them this year.
Out this year. I might have to hunt some of those down. Because we collected the like little McNugget figure twos with the Dracula and the Mummy and all that kind of stuff. They look good. They were great figures. Oh God! Welcome to the Halloween cast. I guess. It's next Tuesday. We'll have a show the day before. Yeah. Buish says pillowcase is the only acceptable answer. Again, I'm gonna say it's a generational. It's like age thing. You start off with a themed one, like you want something neat, you want something based maybe themed with your costume, and then you're just like, I just need a vessel for the candy. And the pennies, apparently the pennies and the razor blades. Put the razor blade in my pillowcase. Buish says we have obtained a McBucket, so they are out this year apparently.
Yeah.
Go get them. Go get your McBuckets.
Yeah.
That was Headbangers Rhythm Royale for Game Pass. In summary, Jusant comes to console and PC on October 31st. Also on Halloween. We're not going off on another Halloween tangent. Oh, what's you guys' favorite Halloween movies?
No.
Your DLC and game updates for Game Pass, EA Sports, UFC 5. Skip to leaving. Don't do this.
Yeah, skip to
Crunchyroll.
leaving.
Nope.
Blah blah.
Follow me. Just go all the way down. Keep going.
Blah blah. Crunchyroll. Blah blah. Smite.
Leaving October 31st on Halloween.
Our Gunfire Reborn, Kill It with Fire, Persona 5 Royale. That's a big one. Signalis. That's another big one. And Solasta Crown of the Magister. I have no fucking clue what that one is.
None of us
do. We have to have played the previous Solasta games? It seems like Solasta Crown of the Magister, right? All right, get those in before Halloween, or spend your trick-or-treating time playing Game Pass games before they exit. Is that it? Holy shit, did we handle all the news? The Blood PC, Spider-Man 2. That's not the Alfred Molina Doc Ock version that I was thinking it was.
Or the numerous times it's been fucking rebooted in movie form.
Pretty much. There was an Amazing Spider-Man 2, wasn't there? You're right. We should have got a third one. Renee says he's watching a horror anime right now. Renee wants to bring back up the Halloween theme stuff.
No, Renee, damn it.
Once again, I wanted to play a scary game in October, and I never did it. And now it's October 24th all of a sudden.
You still got 7 days, man.
What's one I could pick up? Okay, what's a horror game I could pick up?
Doki Doki Literature Club.
It's a horror game?
Just play it, and you'll get through it. You'll get through it quick.
The whole chat.
Nothing about what I see from that game is a horror game.
Spoiled it for the whole chat.
If you look in the tags for it anywhere, it's like suspense horror, and it's like, okay, what? So, and I mean, it looks like such a wholesome game.
It does.
So just play it. It'll take you, I don't know, a few hours to go through a scenario.
I think you played that on the show, right? You were talking about it.
No, I did
not
talk
streaming,
about it,
but you played it. Yeah, and we're discussing it.
Yeah, I played it a year ago, and I mean, it was one of those I started playing, and I'm not like a big visual novel person. A lot of times they just don't really pull me in. This one, I could not put it down. I started doing stuff, and it kept making like weird turn after turn. I'm like, what the hell's going on in this game? Yeah. I gotta see what's going on, because this is a freaking head trip.
Oh yeah, just wait till you watch School Days, and then the same thing will happen to you.
Mermy in the chat is trying to get me to play Asylum, like Batman. Branches went through all those. Asylum. Y'all know another game called Asylum?
Yeah, there's another game called Asylum.
What's that on?
No, you could do what's that one? Monstrum. You could go old school and play Splatterhouse or
some Resident Evils. Maybe we pick up our Resident Evil 4 playthrough we were doing.
Yeah, Resident Evils.
Mermy says, is Phasmo still around? I used to love watching that.
Yes.
Cartoon?
It's
a
game. PC game. It's like I think if that's the one we're talking about, it's the one where you play as it's like Ghost Hunters. You get 4 people, and it's multiplayer, and then you have to like investigate, do different things to like invoke a ghost in the house and guess which ghost it is. And then a lot of times it's funny because most of the people in there just die if you're standing.
Yeah, the ghost can kill you.
Is it asynchronous? Yeah. Is it one of those like 4v1 or something? Somebody's the ghost.
No, nobody's the ghost.
It's a team up thing. Like it's like multiplayer. There's a team up because everybody has to be on the same page. So you're all trying to get evidence to guess which ghost it is at the end and try to survive.
Mermy doesn't know if it's a console thing, so they are shaming us for not being a.
I mean, it's on PC. I don't think it's on.
Yeah, it's a PC. Yeah. I don't believe it's a.
It doesn't need Cesar's new $2,000 graphic card to run.
I hope it does.
No, it's not very graphically demanding.
Cesar finance a new graphic card to play Phasmo.
No, I'm paying $2,000 for a graphics card to play a visual novel.
That's a good Lord intended.
That's a good Lord intended, yeah.
So this is a port of a PSP game. I needed that with my $2,000 graphics card.
I need this $2,000 graphics card with static art. Let's go, static art.
Says I was living the meme. I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that joke before.
Oh goodness. All right.
Games played.
Or are we doing games acquired? Brant, you had a bit for games acquired before we get a games played.
I did had a bit for games acquired because I acquired.
Lots of games.
I acquired.
Too many games.
Aside from acquiring the big two, Spider-Man 2 and Mario Wonder, Trek to Yomi went on sale, so I went ahead and bought that for PS5.
Fantastic.
Good job, Brent.
Because that was very cheap over the weekend.
Good find. Woot had that, right? Was that a Woot sale?
It was on
Amazon had it.
But my surprise was we went to Duluth this past weekend.
This one does.
And we were walking around a game shop, like a card shop. They do tabletop game kind of stuff. And they also had a small section of video games. And I found there was some stuff that was very expensive.
As in overpriced, or as in they knew what they had and it was valuable and expensive?
It was valuable. It was not that valuable.
Yeah, overpriced.
Yeah. But they did have a bunch of the paper sleeved, like,
Loose.
PS1 loose discs.
Oh, so what GameStop would consider new? You bought a bunch of new games.
And right on top of the stack, which I was very tempted to buy, I did not buy, was Mega Man Legend.
Why'd you?
For like $29.
I think that's a good price, isn't it?
It's a half decent price, but I also own that digitally, and
fair. That's fair.
I was more looking at these games that ranged from like highest one I bought was $20. The rest of them were, like $10 and $14. So,
Brand, that might be a wise move because I guess that's the next collector's edition that Mega Man collection would get would be the
3D ones.
That's the only ones left,
that
right?
makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not on the PS2 3D ones. Is that out on? Is that included with the collections? Didn't they end up going 3 at like X or 3D at like X8 or X9 or something?
But those are on the X.
They are on there. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. The only ones we're missing now is this Legend and like the bullshit like maybe Mega Man Soccer. I can't remember if they threw that on there or not, but
Mega Man Soccer sat at my store for years for like $10 and I never got it.
Go back and get it. Don't leave it. Don't leave it.
Yes,
there.
sure. It's like I think it's a wig shop now. I know how to break into that store at least. I've seen all the different methods to break into that store.
Oh, you don't say that out loud, man. What's wrong with you?
Nobody's gonna know that it was me in the wig store looking for the copy of Mega Man Soccer.
I sent you the copies, or a picture of the copies of the games I bought, and you said good finds. Which, do you know all the games I bought?
Yes, but for the audio podcast, I think it's time to.
I remember off the top of my head was it Croc 2?
I did see Croc 2.
Croc 2.
Star Wars.
They had
Dark
Croc and
Forces.
Croc 2 there, but I just needed Croc 2, Dark Forces, and the original PS1 Spider-Man.
I had a copy of Dark Forces you could have had. They just announced a release date for the remaster, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they go the way of Quake and just upgrade those original SKUs to the remaster. That'd be awesome. I've had that for a while on Steam. Brant, those were excellent finds. Was Spider-Man the most expensive?
Yes.
So you double dipped for the newest Spider-Man game this weekend. You got a PS1 copy and you got a PS5 copy. That is true dedication.
Yes, I even joked with the salesperson at the counter because I put it down. He looked down. He's like, "Ooh!" I said, "Yeah, I got to get that new Spider-Man game."
Can I get the strategy guide alongside for 10% off?
LOL.
They're in good condition. They play. You booted them up. Make sure they work.
Oh yeah. They're beautiful.
It'd be nice to have had that as a feature for maybe the PS3 where we could like rip a copy to Kind of like what Xbox did with the 360 games. You know, if you have the hard drive in there, just rip it to it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't make a PS3 without a hard drive, correct? Even the launch one was 20 and 60, and the 21, the 20 gig didn't have Wi-Fi. Was its big?
That was the thing.
That was its thing. It was missing.
Yeah. But they always had a hard drive in them.
Oh, 20 gig hard drive is worst timeline.
That thing fills up fast. Any other games acquired?
I mean, shit, you can't even put a whole Metal Gear Solid collection on the 20 gig hard drive.
Hope.
Oh, I did get myself and friend of the show Russell and friend of the show Mills are big into hockey for some reason. We finally settled on a hockey team we want to follow because famously Atlanta does not have a hockey team. We've lost 2 NHL franchises. And so I found this lot on eBay. Apparently I had NHL 08 and 09 for PS3 and I was doing all this research on like what's the best NHL game like that fans consider, right? And it's nothing past the PS4 and Xbox One. It's none of the new ones. So like NHL 14 I think is the gold standard. Like that's the one that everybody wants. But I found a lot with I had 8 and 9, so this had 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. And they all came like the box they came in, they were in order and they were mint. And I was just like, man, this is somebody just like me. They put them in order and sent them out. This is amazing. So all NHL games for PS3 have been acquired, I think, at this point, except for the 2K ones. I don't think 07 got a release. I need to look at that one. I might be missing one.
When did 2K stop doing the NHL games?
I don't remember that either. I remember them giving up baseball around like 12 or 13. I don't think there was ever a 2K baseball for Xbox One or PS4.
Yeah, I think it was the 360 was like the last one.
360 and PS3. I think it had Roy Halladay on the cover, who's no longer with us.
Did GameStop ever rectify your...
No, they stopped responding to me in the chat.
They stopped.
Yeah, Brent's talking about them shipping me
just giving you
a new
disc.
game and a sleeve. They never gave me the points they were talking about doing. They never. I might call them out again and just blur out my membership number. Like, hey, you guys coming back to this or what? What do I have to do? What are the next steps here? It's a disc for $10. I might see what the trade-in value is, and I don't know. I don't like having just a blank sleeve in my collection. It bothers me.
Hey, you can always just go in there, pick the case up off the shelf, and walk out.
No one has it. I looked all over the place, and no one has it. I considered this.
I'm glad we're all entertaining this. Yeah,
I considered this. Break into the wig shop.
Y'all owe me this. Don't
worry, I'm not here for wigs. I'm here for Final Fantasy Origins, Stranger of Paradise, or whatever that subtitle is, and Mega Man Soccer for Super Nintendo. It's no big deal. Any other games acquired? The Bureau. It's like an XCOM spinoff for PS3. I'm on the oddball PS3 pickups at this point. It was like a tactical. It's not quite as tactical as a regular XComs. It almost looks like cover based, like a mix of tactics and Gears, or Brothers in Arms, where you use cover based things and then you issue commands to people. I didn't play any of it, but I watched a couple of videos and I was like, this is very unique. You don't hear much about this one anywhere. But there was like a slipcover for PS3, and somebody shot me an offer for that, and I was like, sure, I'll grab that one. Games acquired with the slipcover. I needed the slipcover. Games played. I guess we'll delve into that, Cesar, unless you want to cover some games acquired. Games procured. You led off the show one time with a bunch of visual novels. That was interesting as hell.
Yeah, they usually come in once a month. My next batch won't come in until another 3 days.
As one does.
I got the same thing as Brant. I got the Mario, but I did get Sonic, and my copy of Metal Gear Solid came in today.
Stream Sonic.
Mine won't come in till Thursday.
Your Metal Gear or Sonic?
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. Everybody went PS5, right?
I did.
The
yeah.
Switch one is.
Which is oddly enough, it says only like 25 gigs on that disc, so I'm confused of why they couldn't fit it on a 32 gig Switch cartridge, but whatever. It's neither here nor there.
Interesting. And you know the Switch
Konami.
version's way more compressed and 720p assets and all that stuff, right? What was the reasoning behind that?
I don't know what's happening anymore, man. All I know is like I'll buy the Switch version for, like I told you before, for $20 because I'm like, okay, I'll buy a cartridge-based version of Metal Gear Solid 1.
Offline. I'll always have this offline version of Metal Gear Solid 1.
Not paying more than $20, yeah. I'm not paying it for $60 and go to hell.
They did some good work. I don't have it, but I've seen some impressions past that first. What did we talk about, that influencer thing like 3 months ago, where they invited a bunch of people out to check it out. But we all know that Metal Gear Solid 1, the 4x3 start menu, right, where you're just looking at Solid Snake and it's like Metal Gear Solid Tactical Espionage, and you hear the menu music that's so awesome. And it always says press start button, but it has the options thing for PS5. It's got like the 3 lines on there. So they and it's low res, everything. It looks like it was meant to, like it was in the original game and everything, which is pretty cool. People are killing the Steam ones. I saw a sale on it on Steam, and they are destroying that PC version of that first one.
Yeah, but it says on there you can't use a keyboard, right? Was that the whole bullshit?
It says you can't use it on keyboard and mouse. People who know way more about it than I do in the threads were saying it's the GOG version thrown into an emulator. Yeah, it's not a good. It's a bastard port for PC. That's why you saw that sale. Was it Green Man Gaming or somebody had it on heavy discount today? That's
like $1 and some.
That's
change.
why it's a booty hole version.
I still have a physical copy of Metal Gear Solid for PC.
That's a throwback.
Dang.
Yeah, it's published by Microsoft too.
Someone was saying you do not need to play this version. You need to download DuckStation on whatever it is that you're playing and just put the ROM in there. That's the definitive version of that one. Don't even fuck with the Steam version. Games played. We played a shit ton of Warzone Friday and Saturday night. So that's right, y'all did like a 6-hour stream Saturday.
I did.
I fell asleep and then woke up for like the last maybe 2.5, 3 hours.
And Brant jumped in like maybe an hour after me. And
yep. So you,
started.
Brant, friend of the show, Russell, were on for like 4 hours before I got on there.
Yeah, zombie. We did like 4 hours of zombie mode, man. It was pretty good. Yeah, zombie mode was actually not that bad.
That zombies is awesome.
I need to try that one. I haven't played that one with you guys. What does a zombie mode consist of? We were trying to talk in the chat, but then we launched into a game, and it's like I had no understanding of what y'all actually did with that.
You want to tell them, Cesar?
Yeah, it's on that. Was it the OG map? Richard, you know
Al Mazrah?
Al Mazrah.
Al Mazrah. Yeah, so it's on that one, and it's a resurgence-esque adjacent mode. So like you launch down, and it's a battle royale, and the whole gimmick is the circle closes fast. So we did the whole thing where we found out that the hard way, because I was like, we'll just run into the circle. That shit closed.
It like hauls ass. Is it like the super fast one?
It is unbearable. Man. It's tough. It's tough to like get in there if you don't like start hiking towards it. So the whole bit is like it's the zombie mode is produced like once you die you become a zombie, and then you have to get like, was it Brant 4 or 5 vials?
I think it's 4.
Oh,
4 vials, and then you can resurge back into human.
Yeah,
mode.
You basically cure yourself.
So you build up to
resurge.
come back. So how do you do that? You open chests or you kill people?
So that's going to be either all in chests, medicine cabinets, or if you kill people. So the problem gets to be, all right, so like every time you come back, that's that order. Once you die as a zombie, it's done.
Okay.
So you're done. You're out the game. So so the whole point of it just gets bad when it gets to the end game, because then at that point you have so many zombies and they're all fighting for like a small amount of veils. So it's like it's non-existent. So usually there's only like 4 people left on the map, and everybody's just chasing to kill those 4 people. Because I guess the whole bit is if you're the last person alive as a human before you die, then you're the winner of the battle royale. Because I think the closest we got was 2nd place, right, Brian? I believe.
Yeah.
That's right before we quit. Because we were steadily going up. We were like 9, 6, 4, and then we got 2nd place.
That's awesome.
And then I think after that we went to just standard battle royales, and it's where we begin to lose. And then you joined us probably around midnight. So
yeah, that's when I woke up.
You can take it from there.
Fever Dream woke up.
Yeah.
What was our win? Did we get a win with Bran, or was it like right after he got off of there? We got a trios
I think because
win.
I said I would do duels with you, and then we peer pressured Russell to
We
stay.
did.
And then I think it was like
he tried to get off when you got off, Brant.
Yeah, I think it was the second match.
It was
after
the second
that
one. Yeah.
Yeah, we won and we were done. Yeah, after that, because I think it was.
I just remember calling it a night and going, all right, and then you, Cesar, saying, oh, well, if you want, we can do a duos, and then Russell was saying, well, I guess I can do like one more.
Yeah.
And then I'm saying, all right, well, good night, y'all. And then Russell saying, well, I guess I could do like 2 more.
Yeah, he did. He said that. I probably got 2 more in me. Oh man, it was fun. I'm so sorry, I can't remember. I do not remember either one of our wins. I know we won Friday in the early evening. We won Friday. I think that was me, you, and Russell, probably. Was it? And then we got another trios win Saturday?
Yeah, because I think this is, I guess, all mixed up. Because I think the ones I posted on Twitter, because I think there was one.
We need to start.
Because I think
we need to start adding those to the NOFODcast thing as well, since we talk about it.
So I think we won two of them, right? I think that's before. I don't think Mills was with us when we won any.
We got
of them,
two
right?
wins on Friday.
No,
we got one win on Saturday.
I think we got one with Mills, right? It feels like, I don't know, man. They're all blurs together. We play so much fucking Warzone. Man.
Yeah, it has. Nothing's like stuck out. But they do have. You guys were talking about the zombies mode. They've got, like, for trios, or was it? No, it was quads, because we played it with Mills. They've got Von Dead, is what they call it. So it's Vondel, or getting Vondeled, as Buish refers to it as. But it's like there's a bunch of undead and zombie thing and ghost things associated with it. So you swim in blood, like the canals and stuff are all red. You're swimming through blood, and it
never looks better.
Yeah,
it's clear.
It is. And you guys discovered that there's like these ghosts. You'll hear these ghosts in your headset. You turn around, it's just like the specter just kind of drifting around the area you're in. You guys figured out if you shoot them, you get one of the souls that's part of the haunt. Is this part of the haunting? The event's called the haunting?
Yeah.
It's awesome. This is like the best seasonal event thing I've seen them do. It's incredible. Across like, 4 different modes? You got zombies, you got Vondel, Vondead, they did something with the other map.
I mean, I think Ashka Island is like with a deep fog for the
whole
match.
You're always...
Yeah, and it never lifts.
Yeah, you dive into Ashika Island, and it's like you're diving into... Cesar, you called it the deep blue seas. Like, all I do is I see sea down there. If you don't ping an actual location, you have no freaking clue where you're diving to. If you don't look at that map. That would have been cool if they fogged out the map, and then you really have no clue. But it's hard to see. Like, you don't even see, even down in the canals, you don't see farther than 30, 40 feet in front of you. It's like, it's super low visibility. But you turn in the souls for like extra gun skins, and there's a double XP one in there, and there's a cool, like, I had to save up to get this, it's like a candy corn charm that goes on the weapon, and I have yet to see it on my weapon, but I had to get that candy corn charm. It's just cool stuff. Like, this is... It almost feels like, I always talk about missing out on SOCOM, right? Like, man, this is what SOCOM probably felt like online back in the day. This is like those World of Warcraft seasonal things, like where the castle changes and they have festive dishes out and that sort of stuff. That's what it feels like. It's familiar, but it's different enough to be not annoying. Remember the Boys crossover with the Amazon Prime franchise or Amazon Prime Video?
Oh, God,
it was horrible.
The operator bullshit.
That was horrible.
Something operator. It's like the whole time.
A soup.
Like, oh my
a
God.
Soup has entered your area. Soup has entered your area. We've identified a soup close to you. I'm like, God damn, I'm so tired of this bullshit. But this one's good. This one's a lot of fun. It has a lot of atmosphere. Or maybe we're just all partial to Halloween stuff. There's people out there that hate Halloween. They're like, I don't want this bullshit in my game.
I'm fine with it. I mean, I would be pissed at the Halloween thing. They're announcing some bullshit Halloween thing every 5 seconds. Because between that and that's the only thing I hate about the zombie mode is that fucking screen is so busy. It's so much shit on that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pay attention to stuff. It's like you get the zombie bar up there, and then you get the half
Y'all are
cell
telling me
on
about
the
that.
screen, and it's like I can't see shit because it's like the whole screen's covered.
Yeah.
So I'm like that's irritating.
Just screen clutter. Oh man, I had a segue with that because you guys were telling me something else about that zombie mode. Anyways, I think it's super cool. I think a lot of the changes they made. There's pumpkins on the ground. Like, there's a little courtyard we like to land in on Vondel outside the church, like the church and the castle. And the courtyard is just like full of pumpkins. It's like a pumpkin patch all of a sudden. And that type of stuff is really cool. I think it is very neat.
Pumpkin patch.
Pumpkin patch. I purchased Super Mario Wonder. I did not have a chance to play it. We've been extremely, extremely busy. I'm hoping I have some reprieve this weekend and I can get in some of that time, but I'll let you guys touch on the other new titles that came out this past week.
I'm piggyback on your Super Mario Wonder. I haven't played that much of it, so I think I've only gotten to the part where I booted it up and you can choose what was it, Brand, like 15 characters? It seems like.
That's really cool.
No,
I mean, people always want to play as different people, so that's great to have an option.
I mean, because it's geared as a multiplayer game, like you said, Richard. It's up to 4 players that ask you how many you want to play, and I think single player 1, and I think it's like has an option for random. And I was like, oh, okay. I just did the go-to Mario one. So I mean,
you play as Mario in your Mario games?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I know some people who plays Luigi in their Mario games as well, but
he usually jumps higher and can hover a little bit.
He does. He does. He does. He's taller.
He pulls up his onions faster.
Yeah, he does. Well, Brant, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember too much of it. It was like you're visiting was what is it, the Flower Kingdom?
Yeah.
And then was it a Prince Florian?
Yeah.
And then you have Bowser comes in and grabs a Wonder Flower and turns into something, and then that's how the whole adventure
Prince
starts.
Florian of the Flower Kingdom.
Yep. I think Brant probably got further than me. I think I only played the first level where you turn into where you get the Wonder Flower and it kind of manipulates the level. And then where it goes up and down, you have all like these pipes crawling everywhere.
So it's a good introduction to the Wonder mechanic.
Yeah, and I think the first power up is Zol or Elephant.
The elephant
power. Yeah, Zol. And I mean that's as far as I got. Which he can. I think he shoots water across the ground, and he can like water plants, and they'll throw coins at you. And sometimes you'll find these little these red triangles. I don't know what they make yet because I haven't gotten that far with it. You collect them, and it's weird because those triangles. I think they told me at one point had like 47.1% of one. I'm like, what the fuck? How's that 0.1% of anything?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that to the explanations part. So you find these wonder seeds on there. So I think you get one for every level you complete, and there's like a couple scattered throughout the level on there. So I do want to talk about Spider-Man, but I'll let Brant jump onto this Mario Wonder one if he has anything to add.
Don't talk Mario Wonder.
Yeah.
Does it do anything differently? I'm imagining a mix of Mario U Deluxe and Super Mario 3D World is what I have in mind, like the 2 Wii U titles combined.
I think it's just, from what I play, it's just side-scrolling.
Okay.
Yeah. So. It's side-scrolling. I mean, it's
got a world map.
It does.
It does. So, I mean, basically the first part is very linear, and then you get to a port that kind of opens up, and you can go to any of these levels and do them. And the little triangle pieces are basically like a form of currency. You can use them to buy different things from. There's usually like a little vendor off to the side when you find those places, and they can give you like a free Wonder Seed. Well, not free, you buy it. And the Wonder Seeds this time are basically like your Power Stars or whatever. They're in your typical Mario games, it's like you have to get 10 stars to go to this castle or unlock the gate to get to the castle, fight the boss for this area. That's basically what the Wonder Seeds are. Is like you have to go in this area and get enough Wonder Seeds to open the gate to fight the boss. So I started playing it by myself, and then the family came in. I played like the first couple levels. I was like, this is a family game. Come, let's all do this. And then I figured out that you can't have multiple save files. You can only have one save file per account. So since I wasn't super attached to my save that I'd only done a couple levels, so we just redid it, went back in fresh. And yeah, it's fun. It's a little different, like you were saying. You know how Luigi usually can jump a little higher. You know, Princess Peach, she can usually do like a little float in the air. You don't have that in this game. They have a different mechanic for this, where you actually earn and unlock what they call badges.
Okay.
And the badges are for different things. So the first one you unlock is the cap parachute, to where when you're in the air, you basically like pull your cap off your head and you float down. And there's several different badges you can get. You can only equip one at a time. You can
so it's like a special move.
A different one. Yeah, you can, equip different ones for different levels. There's one that's like like a wall jump kind of deal, or it's like a wall cling jump kind of thing. There's one that's like dolphin kick, where you kind of zoom through water levels.
Wall clinging? Which game are we talking about? I thought Brant already segued to Spider-Man.
Oh god.
So it's so it changes things up. The biggest thing is like the game's got a lot of personality. Like, so when Cesar says you have the elephant power up, the characters and stuff, the way they act, their little idle animations has a lot of personality. When you're jumping into a warp pipe or something, they're trying to like slim down and suck down into it. If the warp pipe goes sideways or up, they're jumping into it, and then their little feet are kicking trying to get up in there. And it's just all the little touches.
The Nintendo polish.
The Nintendo flair. I mean, there's stuff. There's certain levels where stuff is in the foreground and stuff is in the background, and you have to find, which pipe is hidden, or sometimes you might have to push a pipe and push it into place, and it locks in, and then you can go down.
Never done that before.
Yeah, there's some interesting little things. We're enjoying it.
You're playing it multiplayer.
Yes.
Awesome.
We played up to the first castle. Beat the first the boss.
And you don't collide, right? When you're playing multiplayer, like you can't pick them up and throw them like in
there's no collision unless you pick up a Koopa shell and throw it at one of the teammates. Yeah, then that's gonna hit them. But you can't jump off their head, or
it's the double dragon. It's the double dragon of Super Mario multiplayer games. Don't play with Cesar.
But we're enjoying it thoroughly.
Oh, don't worry, I got multiple Double Dragon games coming out.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got multiples.
I give Cesar shit for Double Dragon, but it's always a good time as he kicked you off the stage.
It's opened up now to an even bigger portion of the map, and it looks like it's pushing me to one portion, and there's, I want to say it was like 4 or 5 portions, and Bowser's basically in the middle, and he's surrounded by these I want to say it was like chain chomps or something. He's surrounded by something, and it's basically we just have to go through, beat the bosses, get these big wonder seeds, and it'll make one of the chain chomps disappear, and then we can go fight him. So
you remember it almost seems like you remember in Super Mario Brothers 3 when you got to the second world, the desert world, and you heard the music like do 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 do, but there was like cacti dancing and things like that. It almost seems like they've added that into the level design, as far as like you have no clue what's coming up next. Like it's that same polish, it's that same creativity, it's that same Nintendo spark, but like they've managed to add it into the levels. More so, I mean, it was always in there, but more so of the we're not expecting this type thing.
Yeah. And there was a bit of classic music. I can't remember which song it was, and the way they implemented it was pretty fun. But it's a fun game. It's a fun game, and it's definitely, if you have a family with kids,
do I?
It's one of those that you can definitely sit down with them and enjoy it.
I think that's been part of my hesitation, because I've had some times I could have popped it in and given it a go, but it's like, man, my kids like literally saw it on the table and freaked out Friday. And that's honestly, that's been my holdup. It's like, man, we have not been able to get together and play this, and they went bonkers. I couldn't. Yeah. I feel like I couldn't pop it in and play a level or two, and then, hey, let's see what this new game's about. There's a save profile on the Switch. Yeah. It's fun to discover together. I'm so happy you are playing together. That's awesome. That's the best part. It's good. It's like an all-time great. You think?
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
It's a great game. It's an amazing game. All right, Cesar, do you want to lead off on Spider-Man? We can go back and forth.
Oh, I'll let you lead off because I beat it like an hour ago.
Holy shit!
Good lord!
And there's that.
Well, I don't want to go too far into it because I know Are you at some point going to play?
Yes,
it,
I need to
Richard,
play.
pop
I need
it
to
in
play
and-
that one, Miles Morales, and 2.
I would suggest playing those when you initially pop this in. There is a previously on, which
Y'all want to just discuss? I'll take
um,
my headphones out and just point at me when it's time to go. Talk about more mechanics of the game and story and things like that. They're important.
No, we
Okay.
don't.
I'm
I
gonna
never
really
want to
have to
stop
do
you
that.
from checking it out.
No, but it's fun. They've added some new mechanics, some new movement abilities, and things like that to the game, which
And Brand, it reminds me of like when they went from like Asylum to Arkham City. It has those type of advancements. They didn't break what was already working,
Yeah.
and they kind of tightened up what needed to be
I
tightened
do
up.
understand that
Yeah.
analogy.
Yeah.
the while the glide helps traversal and is definitely a good way to get around, it feels to me at least a little out of place the way it's implemented. The way you can literally just almost fly around the city sometimes, where you get in a jet stream and then rings appear and it turns into Superman 64 and you're flying through the rings.
I'm glad you also
all
recommend Superman 64 on the rings. That's the first thing I noticed.
Going
on
all
rings,
across the
Superman
damn city.
64, yeah.
So that to me, it feels a little out of place. I'm like, what? The glide should be more of a glide, just to get from one place to the other. But you literally can use it to fly around the city. It's
my biggest complaints is I'm not I don't have that ability in my brain like Renee does, where up is down and down is up, and that took me the longest time to get over that inverse controls on the gliding. I don't know if you could change it or not. I didn't think about it.
That's Bleach's native controls.
Yeah.
And Bleach's offspring.
I've got to look into it for sure, because it screws me up, and every time I'll start doing it, I'm like, oh no, I gotta quickly redo.
There's a certain point. There's a side quest that it's exclusive to gliding and doing it at high speeds, and I've become a master at gliding, so it doesn't bother me at all anymore.
I've done a couple of those. Other than that, they've got quite a bit of suits and customization. A lot of the suits that you can get actually have further color palettes and things that you can craft technically. Majority of the suits unlock just as you progress through the game and level up. I think there's a couple that might be locked behind certain missions, but I'll
add to that.
It's a small handful. Right?
There's a lot. Certain missions, certain side quests. And then as you go on, some of them need hero tokens, which you have to do or lock to certain side quests, and they're not plentiful. So, but there's, I think, I've got almost 100% unlocked. I think I'm missing one costume out of all of them, but I think it's almost 60 costumes.
Yeah.
So it's 30 between both of them, and then there's color palettes for certain ones. So you can do 4 different color palettes for certain costumes. So.
The combat for the game still feels really good. They've added a new counter mechanic, which
combat.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to, because it's one of those things where you're used to seeing Spider-Man get that white halo over his head, and to dodge because it's either white or it's red when they're about to hit you, and what to dodge there. But now there's this these big heavy attacks, and these enemies come down at you, and it's yellow and then it's red, and you've got to parry at the right time.
Is it forgiving, or is it tight, or
it depends?
Usually sometimes it works when it goes early a little bit for me. It never works when it goes late. So it's you're either early or you're on time. That's it.
And the problem is, most of your attacking stuff and dodging is all the PlayStation face buttons, where this new parry mechanic is tied to L1. So if you're getting mobbed by a bunch of enemies, and then all of a sudden one comes off to the side with a big attack that you're supposed to parry, you're either going to miss it, or it's going to kind of mess up the flow of your combo that you're trying to do, or whatever. And like I said, it was a little awkward. Since I've been playing the game, I've gotten into it a little bit more, and it's a little easier.
Is there a lag test like Guitar Hero where you try to hone in the timing?
There should.
I think my biggest complaint of that is like when you learn your abilities and they're tied to L1. Is a lot of times I go to parry and I end up launching an ability attack on accident. So that does happen from time to time. So
again, so far, I'm not going to get really bogged into the story wise, but just like the first one, I have the same issues as far as like there's some story pacing slogs where the game starts off really good. And then it kind of
that first
slows
hour
down.
is very tight. That first hour.
Oh yeah.
Tight, yeah.
And then it slows down a little bit. It kind of gets down to the characters and things, but it does get bogged down in like coming off of this really big set piece, and now we're walking around a carnival, and hey, let's do these carnival games. Let's hit the hammer on the thing, try to hit the bell. Let's throw the baseball at the bottles. Let's go over here and do this. Let's ride this roller
like the intro to
coaster.
Chrono Trigger,
and
except the roller coaster.
And but then it leads into something else, and I definitely get what they're trying to do, and it does play into the story and everything. But I felt it took a little too long in places on some of those things. And that's just me. I mean, somebody else might be like, "Oh no, it's absolutely perfect. I didn't have a problem with it." But the other thing is weird glitches with this game.
You said it's a
weird
clip.
Glitches. I cannot remember what the first glitch was. It was something kind of minor.
Some people said like no music. All of a sudden they have no music.
I think it just randomly froze on something, and it wouldn't let me do anything. Oh, that's what it was. I remember. There's this it's a side quest kind of thing, and you have to you find these certain areas, and you fight a small group of enemies, and then you have to go like break this thing open. And I beat all the enemies, and I'm standing there in front of this rock, and I grab the rock, and you're supposed to use the triggers and press them both in, and Spider-Man, you feel the haptic feedback, and you're pressing in the triggers.
Is it good?
And then it just
Is
breaks.
it implemented well?
Yeah.
Love it.
But I'm standing there, and Spider-Man's just going like this, and he's not breaking the thing. And no matter what I'm doing, he's just standing there with this rock in his hand. He's not doing anything with it. I'm like, damn it! And I had to reset the checkpoint, redo it again. And then
you didn't lose much progress, did you? It didn't put you back too far.
No, that one wasn't bad. The one earlier was a little bit worse, not as bad as Cesar being cubed.
I literally changed my costume and I turned to a cube and turned back to it. I had to restart.
That was fantastic too.
Yes,
I was just cube just slowing around. I was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
I heard about that earlier today. That there's some glitch that basically, I don't know, it bugs out the character model, and then you're just a dev cube swinging around the city, and it happened to Cesar. He sent us a video.
I'm the dev cube.
And I mean, it's got the spider webs.
It's like the
T-pose.
It's like the T-pose, right?
You just
it looks like a fucking sugar cube. That's what it was.
It does.
Sugar
it's
cube
just
is
a
going
bright
around.
white sugar cube.
Or salt lick for a horse or something like that. Horse salt lick.
For a horse. Somebody out there in the audience is like,
they understood that reference. Like, I know that. I know what that is.
But what happened to me was a little. It wasn't that bad as far as turning into a cube. It's I posted it on Instagram. I sent it to y'all as well.
That was a good one.
I was in an enemy hideout, and I'm like stealthily crawling around and taking enemies out. And this particular hideout, like you start on the roof, and then there's a hole in the roof, and you go inside. And I had done 2 floors, and I was like at the bottom the bottom floor, and I'm running around, and I take out one enemy. I get back on the wall. I crawl and look at another, and go to take him down. And rather than zipping towards him to knock him out, I zip forward and then back, and then all of a sudden I'm in the walls. I'm out of bounds
Matrix.
in the walls of this building, and there's nothing.
They were
to
rendered
do.
like it looked good.
It was
Yeah,
all
what a
rendered,
bad place
and
to
there was
be.
even a bookshelf on one side of it, and I was able to pull it down, but nothing was happening. I'm like, oh damn! So I had to. It's like, man, okay, restart from last checkpoint, and it put me all the way back out, and I had to redo the roof, and then redo the first floor, and then go back to the second floor. I'm like,
you probably
damn
found
it.
something that people will try to end up using for like tool assists, like speed runs or something. All you had to do was turn around and like walk into a fireplace or something, and you would have beat the game. Like it would have rolled the credits.
Yeah.
Like that was it. You would have.
They walked in the hallway and it's like the final boss is right there and they start fighting the final boss. That's that bullshit
Speed
that
run.
people find all the time. Yeah.
But as far as I've gotten in the story wise, you do get to a point in the story where it just pops off, and it is nonstop. I've just done mainly the stuff that was in the original Sony trailer for the game. And I finished the portion of the game with the lizard in there, and now,
Which oddly enough is like the halfway point of the game where they showed. I was like, damn, they showed halfway through this game.
yeah, it's halfway through the game.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in any of the marketing or anything.
Yeah.
So Peter was tired and he went to go take a nap, and that's about the point I'm at. Is he went home to take a nap, and then all of a sudden something else is happening. So I had to shut it down for the night. So, but Cesar has completed the game, so maybe he can vaguely talk about if the game keeps on at this hectic
Maybe he can
pace.
vaguely talk about the parts
'Cause
past
it's,
where I just mentioned I was at.
As far as it goes, I mean, you do, and Cesar can probably attest to this too. You hit a certain point, and it is just all gas. It is like the story starts going. It's really really good.
Is it a slow burn until then, or does it just get to a point where it takes off, like takes off?
Like what Brant's saying is like it depends on the person. Like for me, I have the pacing's perfect for me. So
Okay.
I had no issues with it because I know it's dealing with there's a lot of villains in this game, and a lot of it is about second chances and reintegrating society and the choices they make. And then you also have some from the superhero side, which is balancing your life, trying to keep a balance in your personal life and your work life and your school life or whatever it is, and finding that difficulty is that stuff they always talk about throughout the comics and multiple arcs, and they kind of hit all the nails on the head on this one. So I think there's a lot of themes going on in it, and it does a pretty good job of not getting lost in the themes too well. So there's some slow moments in there, like Brant says, and I think you can skip through it because it's not some of it's not mandatory. Like get a prize or whatever, you can go like down the fair. You can just go straight to the end and finish it if you wanted to, and skip all that kind of stuff. But then you miss out on all those story beats that are going.
It's fun to get those interactions.
But I think they leave it up to the player to decide if that's what they want. Because some people just want to, the gameplay, like Brant said, the gameplay's tight. They like this. My favorite part's the stealth missions, which we all know they robbed from the Arkham Asylum games. But it's neither here or there. Because I did the exact same thing as go from a high and then just purge people and do that all day long. That's all I'm doing.
Yep.
And I have fun doing that. And doing different wires, which is kind of still like the Batarang stuff on there. So a lot of that stuff is, but they took what worked and kind of made it their own. But this might be one of the best superhero games I've ever played, man. It's really good. The ending's really good. And it does leave a big opening for the third one. And this is probably...
Or another spin-off, like another Miles Morales type thing, right?
I'll leave it at that because I know how it ends. I won't go into details about that. But it does... This is probably the best adaptation I've ever seen of Venom. They all sucked in the movies. But this is very, very well done. There's a point where Brant just passed on there. Like, they never acknowledged the name on it, but I knew instantly that was Ancient Venom. when that original costume on there. It was like, that's fucking Agent Venom. I was like, holy shit, they actually put him in from the comics in there. So it's
Cool.
like there's a lot of other Venom-esque stuff in there that they put in there, and they don't call it that name, but I knew instantly from that costume design. It's like, that's fucking Agent Venom. I had instantly knew it. So like, if you're a comic book fan, you would know like some of this stuff on there. And I was like, that threw me for a loop. I was like, I never thought in the year of our Lord 2023 I would see.
It was a deep cut.
But yeah, because it's a recent character within the last maybe 15 years. But and I think there's a certain character on there that goes through a pretty tough arc on there using that character. And at one point he was part of the Guardians of the Galaxy as well. So it's a deep history with Agent Venom. But yeah, it does a good job, man. They did a great job with doing Venom in this story. And it never felt like it. There's a lot of stuff balanced. It's a lot of shit happening in this game, and it never felt like it was too much, or it never spent enough time on stuff. And
I mean, they're masters at this type of gameplay and presentation.
And Insomniac knows what they're doing,
They do.
man. And I mean, there's another. I mean, there's some other pieces in there moving like Brand, if you make sure you do all the side missions. I did everything in the game, 100%. I did 100% everything. I think I just got to go do like some of the. I gotta like go do some of the bullshit trophies and I'll get the platinum. I just gotta do like 1 or 2 trophies and I'm done. But I did every side mission. I completed every district 100%. I never felt like it was too much. It felt like each side mission, even though some of them were the exact same thing, they give you a different story beat with it, and it does a pretty good job. They introduced a major villain in the side missions that is probably going to be a big deal later on in the games,
Cool.
which I thought was pretty cool. Like I said, he didn't overstay his welcome because it's like you're going to see him next time.
It was a very subtle introduction. It wasn't in your face.
Yeah, I mean, if you know, like I said, I've read the comics. I know who it is, and I know Brand will know who it is when you look at him. Like, oh shit, because it's like, it's very subtle because they never gave you a name, and then after you complete the side mission, they give you the names. Like, oh, that's what I thought it was. I was like, damn. And then he gets the item that they need to get to become that person. But it's very good. I mean, I don't think it overstayed its welcome. I'm trying to think of something bad in that game. I got used to the gliding. I was fine with that. I'm at the point where I glide more than anything. And at this point, I do fast travel to every district. So it's like at that point, it's easy to clean up now. Once you keep a couple side missions, you unlock fast travel, and then after that, it just makes it easier. I think the most tedious thing was getting the spider bots, which is kind of like a callback to the Spider-Verse type stuff. Because a lot of those spider bots were just different spiders from different spider universes. It's like there's also a character from the Spider-Verse in there if you complete that mission. So there's a lot of throwbacks to a lot of media-based Spider-Man stuff that's out right now. But outside of that, I mean, I've got to the point where I've locked all the powers and everything on there, and it's very versatile. And as you go through Brand, you'll see more, like Miles gets like evolved powers, and it changes up his power set. Gives you different things on there, and it goes even further later on after he completes some story beats on there for him. But I think in all, it took me 30 hours to complete everything.
I like that they're both in there. That's cool.
It's not bad.
Yeah, but this is definitely one of my game of the year, man. This is up there. This caught me like Tears of the Kingdom did, where I think I was last night I was up to like 5 a.m. I was like, shit, it's 5 a.m.
Oof.
So let me stop what I'm doing and go to bed. I was like, otherwise I just would have kept going. So
That's good when a game grabs you like that, though.
Because the last time that happened this year was like Tears of the Kingdom did the same thing to me, where like, fuck, I gotta be at work in 2 hours. Like, what do I do?
Clocking into your second job.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for me. Games played on, unless Brand got something else to add. So.
Nope, that's it.
We covered it all.
And Richard's a pretty game, man. It's probably one of the best looking games I've seen, man. It's if you ever go with just like crawl on the buildings on the skyscrapers, you just see inside the rooms and you just see people in there watching TV or doing shit in the rooms and everything. It's very.
How are they doing this in the background? It's
pretty good, man. It's I mean, it's not crystal clear, but you can see they put a lot of love in this game. This is really good, man. It's a really good game. I mean, all the high praise they deserve on it. So.
Is it?
I mean, you know how I feel. Spider-Man based media, man. I eat it up.
Is it better looking than Ratchet and Clank? I think Ratchet and Clank is still the high bar graphic.
There is
wise.
a mission with a certain character in there that is very rift apart. As you go through different areas of 2 different dimension type stuff, you'll see it. If you ever get to it, it's pretty much this rift apart where you're going through and you're going into a whole other area and it's smooth loading.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay.
Insomniac's on another level, and they're up there with Naughty Dog, and they produce way more content than Naughty Dog does. They're wizards, man. They've figured out that hardware.
And it helps that they have 2 studios. I think they still have 2 Insomniacs. I got the North Carolina one and their OG one. So.
Yep. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to add? That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week. We will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.
Adios.